What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And my friends, there is a definite reason why you are seeing so many content creators for the Division 2 put out a Heartbreaker build. The gear set is absolutely insane. Therefore, today I wanted to make sure I put one together for you as well. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And remember, we are currently having a giveaway for an Xbox Series X. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on July 4th of this year. So as I mentioned at the beginning of every build video I put together, I want to remind especially new and returning players that this is just a template. With a gear set like this, there are so many different ways to run with it, so the most important thing is take your time and really make a build your own. Now, one thing I will mention is this is the best Heartbreaker gear I have at this point in the game. I definitely want to farm for more. Now, as most of you know, it is a guaranteed drop in the seasonal reward track, and at this point, you can also farm for it in the open world or select it as your targeted loot in Countdown or in the Summit. As always, I'm starting off with a little bit of gameplay footage, then we're going to get into the build itself, and then at the end of the video, I like to pass along a few tips to new and returning players, which should hopefully help you get started anytime you try out a new build. Now, as far as the gameplay footage you're seeing, I'm running Countdown, and you are absolutely shredding NPCs, and your survivability is insane. So for so many gamers out there, let's say you've been struggling in regards to certain builds on your own, this gear set will truly be a game changer for you. And one thing I want to mention is, if you've seen my channel, typically I run with a Scorpio shotgun. I am awful with an AR. It's been so long since I've used an assault rifle, and even with my terrible aim, I'm still putting out a ton of damage. So starting off with the Specialization, I'm using Technician, which allows me to equip the linked laser pointer to my weapons, and that is because when you have that equipped, you are automatically going to pulse enemies, which comes into play when we talk about the gear set. And remember, make sure you have the proper weapons activated in your skill tree, that way you do get that weapon damage bonus. My primary weapon for this build is the Kingbreaker, which is the new named assault rifle in the game. It has the talent Perfect Flatline. It amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. After 2 kills, it applies pulse to the next enemy you hit. But remember, because we're using the linked laser pointer, no matter what we're targeting, the enemies are going to be pulsed. So just make sure whatever weapon you pick, you can equip that laser pointer as well. Now, if you don't have the named version of the assault rifle, the Kingbreaker, any assault rifle or LMG with the talent Flatline will totally do. Now, as far as my secondary weapon, you can see I'm using the Rock and Roll shotgun, which is the named version of the ACS-12. Now, if you don't have the Rock and Roll, ACS-12 is fine. The talent doesn't really matter as well, because the main reason we're using this is to be able to quickly gain those stacks of bonus armor and weapon damage whenever you engage with an NPC. Now, you can see on the screen here, you can also use an LMG if you want, and just again make sure you can equip the laser pointer, that way no matter what you do get that weapon damage bonus. Moving on to the gear itself, my friends, obviously we are using the Heartbreaker gear set. We're using 4 pieces so we get all of those bonuses. You can see a 2-piece gives you 15% assault rifle and LMG damage, 3-piece gives you 15% weapon handling, and 4 pieces Heartstopper. Headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds. Now remember, that doesn't apply to us because we are using the laser link pointer. That means that we're pulsing everything that we target. Weapon hits on pulsed enemies adds a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% damage to pulsed enemies, up to a max of 50 stacks. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, these are the best pieces of gear I have right now. I had to reroll the core attribute to armor. I would much rather have those 2 minor attributes be crit hit chance and crit hit damage. Now moving on to the chest piece, and with having this equipped, this has the talent max BPM. It increases max stacks for Heartstopper from 50 to 100. Moving on to the holster, it's the 3rd piece of the Heartbreaker gear set we have equipped. Now I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Now we make our way to the knee pads. And you can see I'm using Fox's Prayer, and I'm using these for 2 reasons. First of all, that attribute 8% damage to targets out of cover is an absolute monster. And secondly, I want to build up my proficiency with these for other builds that I'm currently working on. That same logic holds true for the gloves I'm using. You can see I'm using the Contractor's gloves. In my opinion, they are still some of the best gloves in the game because of the attribute damage to armor. And as far as the backpack goes, it is the 4th and final piece of the Heartbreaker gear set, and the reason we are using that is because it has the talent Cold, which increases total bonus armor gained per stack of Heartstopper talent from 1% to 2%. Now, one thing I want to demonstrate really quick before I wrap this video up is why I'm using an automatic shotgun for my secondary weapon when I'm not really getting, a weapon talent bonus with that. And that again is because you're insanely stacking these bonuses. Like you can see here, the moment I engage with an NPC and I unleash this shotgun, you can see all of that bonus armor just stack. And not only that, look at the DPS once I switch to the other weapon. So once again, even with terrible aim like myself, as you get used to it, you are totally putting out a ton of damage and your survivability is absolutely insane. Now, in regards to the skills I have equipped, I'm using the assault drone so that way I gain some proficiency in that, and I'm also using the Crusader shield for the exact same reason. Now, to be honest with you, you do not need a shield with a build like this, but as you're starting off, it definitely can come in handy. Now, at this point in the video, I do want to pass along a few tips to new and returning players, which should hopefully help you out anytime you're putting together a new build. And one thing I always recommend doing is going to a mission, a control point, a bounty, whatever it is that you're familiar with. That way you know the timing of the NPC and you can truly see how the build responds to your gameplay. However, having said that, my friends, I gotta tell you, this build is absolutely so much fun to use. I think one of my biggest concerns going into this was, because I'm so used to running with Hunter's Fury, I was worried, am I going to find something that I love running with as much? And my friends, this is definitely the gear set you want to try out. It is absolutely so much fun to use. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting build videos together is the family we have at the channel. So if you have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know in the comment section down below, as the main goal is to try to help out as many as we can. With all that being said, my friends, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for the amazing support you continue to show this channel. I can promise you that there will be a lot of different variations of this build. I'm looking forward to getting the Catharsis mask. That way I can put one together with that. So again, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. At this point, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, like I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Neutralized. Area secure.
Agent, you should be able to access that experimental lab now.
Thank you, Agent. I was starting to think this was it for us.
Warning. Experimental reactor unstable. Safety protocols activated. Magnetic containment failure. Elevated threat of EMP discharge.
Nice work on the valves. Now, I need you to expose the reactor's core. Good. Now, we just need to destroy the magnetic core. You should be fine.
Target detected. Incoming. High-risk hostile. System stolen. Evacuate the facility. 5 minutes to lockdown.
Containment field.
Experimental reactor offline. System curtailed. System reactivated.